right, match 3. Maria Jose Rodriguez against Zavala. This should be fun to watch. Can Stephanie stay in gear? Clearly she can. Great start.
So again, roughly sliding 34, planting 34, 35, crossing over 20-ish at the arrows, all the way 8 around the break point, 10 straight back.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our number 2 seed from Colombia, Maria Jose Rodriguez.
Longtime member of Team Colombia. Lives in Austin, Texas. Tremendous talent. Her titles have been majors in the past, including this event in Richmond a few years back.
Yeah, I remember I was that one. I was there.
I remember too. Off to a great start. It's a long wait, right? I mean, we're an hour into our show here in Dallas as the 2 seed. Put a lot of focus and concentration into being sharp at the start.
Yeah, Maria, 4-step approach. No, she's wearing a sneaker on her right foot. She's had a lot of therapy over the years. Gets a high backswing, a little bit higher than most of the players. Again, body lean is going forward. And as she starts to push off with that sneaker, dips down into the shot. Great leverage. Keeps her hand behind the ball for a very, very long period of time. Nice 4-step basic approach.
Trip 10 pin carries over to the left lane. World Championships Vegas 2019. A ball accidentally dropped on her right big toe, and the rehab and lengthy recovery process for Maria. It's still not perfect, but it's better. And that's why she has the shoes there. But she said she remembered exactly the time, the place, and the flight, where she was going. When she opened the trunk to put on some sandals for the flight to be comfortable, a ball fell on her right big toe. Zavala.
Wow. Did you hear? She said, do something cool. That one was out the window, but a nice cool breeze pushed it back towards the pocket. Watch how far right this one gets down the lane. Release at the bottom of the swing. 1918 launch angle's a little bit off there. Really, really far right. Woo! And that wind blow comes right back in. High RG ball, high differential. Means the ball wants to flare a lot and create much more traction as it gets back to the lane. She's got room for error.
It did something cool. Left lane. Okay. 3-time PWBA Tour titleist is in a perfect spot, finding that pocket from her deep approach. Wow.
And we talked about Maria had the bowling ball land on her toe. I spoke with her husband Nathan too, as the tour rep out here, and he said that there were multiple injuries and didn't know what was causing the other to go astray and everything along the way. So the therapist really started from scratch, and basically she had to learn how to walk again.
Didn't like it at all. That's why it's Brooklyn. And Nathan's right in front of us. Here's a big smile. I mean, sometimes. Next stop, Prospect Park. Brooklyn's right.
Yeah, watch. Just misses inside, sliding 29, 20, no projection to the right. So again, 40 feet, all that traction in the middle part of the lane. Angles have to get wider or steeper in the front part to create that hold. You'll see her start to creep left or jump a little bit further left. Not the quite same shape as Zavala, but something similar, where that's that rounded curve going down the lane.
Sometimes you just get lucky. Trying to keep these bowlers perfect. Oh, almost a 7-10. Just a 10-pin stands for Maria.
She just feels she hasn't had a lot of breaks this year. She even bowled good here in both rounds on the short and the long. Did not make either cut, but did cash in both events. Had a double to get into the Tour Championship to bowl those next 24 games of qualifying.
Whoa. Got it, just got it.
Great spurt shooter.
Little unsure of herself there on the approach. Look at the footwork at the foul line. Just enough of that 10-pin.
Yeah, well, early on in the week when we first got here, they were very tacky. Then they brought in multiple fans, and then conditions got much easier for footwork to stay consistent. And you know, as a bowler, you got to have your footwork to be consistent.
That comes in high. Almost a big 4.
That one was a much better shot than she did on the last time on the right lane, which would tell me, hey, I've got more room to the right. Yeah. Watch here. I thought this was a pretty good identical shot from the one on the left. 20, 8 right there, but all of a sudden there's that big hook spot along the way. Must be a giant, another bigger move left. She rolled her eyes too, kind of questioning what the result was.
So the match could turn dramatically here. Trying to spray that cross lane to get to the 4-pin, but no such luck. So an open frame. After Zavala bowled so well in that first match with Jordan Richard.
Well, 13 out of 15 frames she hasn't missed. That's pretty good.
Pretty good. 266 in the first game, so now down by 14 pins. Look at her recover. Oh. Flat 10.
Good recovery, though. Way to bounce back. She's just kind of staying calm. Let's watch the ball traction here. Still planting the same spot. Watch the yellow on the ball. You can see the logo kind of stand up and roll forward. Just enough that it left the flat 10 6-pin falls in front.
First championship round appearance of the season for her in the last event of the year. Amazing to think about with her skill set. But Kelly, you know more than anyone, that's how competitive it is out here.
It is. It is. Rookie season, she dominated, comes out, had a little bit of pressure. She was trying to maintain the performance that she had from last year. Didn't quite carry over, but the result was going to see Coach Brian and then changing some things to put her in this moment right now.
She said that last night, that she put pressure on herself to be player of the year. The goals were sky high. And Maria, we talked about that long-standing toe injury. Went home to Colombia, worked with physical therapists for 6 weeks. Thought it would be just a few days down there to work with some medical specialists, and it was a long time with friends and family there before she finally felt well enough to come back to the States and compete. Match 3. Maria Jose Rodriguez off to a tremendous start here, trying to take on the top seed. Shannon Blahowski for the title.
Melissa McDaniel, our USBC president. She's had a busy month of July, attending all the junior gold events. Coaching, having one of the largest youth coaching programs and junior bowler participation in the state of North Carolina, in the country.
Fantastic. Zavala out of the TV ring. How will she fare? Good pin action to strike in her 6th frame.
Yeah, she's on a roll still. She's sliding deeper. Now she's in a 39. So all this friction here, folks, she's going in the middle here, has all this angle, and in that short period of time, she has to get it back to the pocket. She's consistently hitting the same breakpoint over and over again, but the 6-pin, watch her eyes, falls a little bit late, little shaky there.
Takes that left turn. Perfect.
She has moved deeper inside. She was sliding 34, 35, but planting now she's even another 4 or 5 boards left, that almost in the left gutter.
14-pin match with her double. 2 seed. Maria steps up. 2 titles, both majors in her career. 2014 USBC Queens in Reno. And we talked about it. 2018 in Richmond. This event, the Tour Championship. 2-8 double wood.
I really like the alignment of that shot. The difference was it was a lot faster. Just observation, general observation. She got great leverage. Holds her bounce at the foul line, and her hand was very quick at the bottom. You can just see it amped up probably at least 0.3 of a mile an hour faster. Leaves a 2-8.
Can't cover. And that's an open frame. The match shifts dramatically. Big shot off the open. Nice recovery.
50% probability between both athletes. Maria, I mean, she told me in the interview too, she bowled in pain the entire time last year. She had a cortisone shot just in the beginning. She was able to bowl Reno, made the show there, made the telecast there. And then because of the therapy, she was able to have a much more pain-free season. Or else she would have to, she said she couldn't come back and bowl.
She's battled a toe injury and plantar fasciitis, which, as I'm sure you know, Kel, being an athlete, incredibly painful. Zavala.
Seven
help
pin
on the
late to
7
fall.
pin.
You know, at some point, the bowling pin weighs a little bit over 3 pounds. But there's days where they feel like they weigh 8 pounds. 4 pin just gently falls to hit the 7. And slowly falls to the pit.
It's a big theme in our discussion, as we talked about with her last night. Her preseason goals, player of the year, multiple majors. She was talking about huge goals that, now in retrospect, she wasn't quite ready for. I mean, you got to think big.
You have to envision the future, what it looks like.
But now, a chance to wrap up the year in grand fashion with a major championship. Would be her first career major. Great shot.
Yeah, could that one spare Maria miss cost her moving forward? It'll be interesting to see.
4-bagger for Zavala. Up by 20 pins. So Maria steps up, works on a strike. In her foundation frame to cut it to 10, but the ball's in Zavala's court now. Huge shot. Got it.
Doubles in there.
Kids should be seen. Schools. I'll give you something to get you into this world.
On this pair, it's not a question of beating Maria, it's just beating the pins, and she's just in straight command of the lanes as they break down. She's making the correct moves and she's staying ahead.
Ten pin in the 10th frame. And Maria told us last night she's due for a victory in the last event of the year. Finally feeling healthy again. Big non-strike.
This is a big fill ball right here. Very, very important because this could potentially change the match or have a tie. If Maria strikes here and Zavala goes 9 spare, I believe we have a tie. So it could be very, very interesting. Actually not, she's down by 10, so I got to recalculate all these scores. 224 max right here. So Zavala will just have to mark in the 10th frame in order for her to move on to the championship match against Shannon Plahowski. Had to take out my fingers and my toes for that one, Dave.
Glad you did. Zavala steps up. Almost had the 2-8 to deal with, just the 2-pin.
You heard it from the fan from back. Need to cover it. Planning 38, 39, gets it to 20. Woo, that one got out to 4-5. She's really been controlling 7-8. It's a good 9. Must convert.
Got it.
One pin will advance her to the championship match.
Grind out win for Stephanie Zavala head-to-head with Maria Jose Rodriguez. It wasn't easy. Against the 2 seed tonight. Keeps it on the lane. And moves on. Great match. 10-pin win.